I am actually early for an appointment, so I thought I would make a video answering a question that I kind of get a lot, which is, how did you know it was the right time to start wearing a wig? And this will be different for everybody, and for some people, wearing a wig is not the right thing. Maybe they will never choose to wear supplemental hair, whether it's a clip-in or bonded. Maybe they will just, maybe they'll use cosmetic concealer, or maybe they'll cut their hair really short, or maybe they'll shave it. It's just different for everybody. But in the world of wigs, how I came to the point that I started wearing hair was, I've been losing my hair for 14 years. So I started wearing hair last year. So by the time I got to that place, I had already been losing my hair for 13 years. And it had just gotten to a point that although I still had hair on my head, I wasn't able to make it look the way I wanted to make it look. It was frizzy, flighty, very, you could see right through it in overhead lighting, like in restaurants, public restrooms, dressing rooms, strong like sunlight. I was very self-conscious. I hated the way I looked in photos. I never took photos. It was just, I just didn't like the way I looked. I was watching myself deteriorate, and I felt helpless. I already had been treating my hair. There's only so much I could do with that. It was just progressive. I have female pattern hair loss. It's progressive. So while I do still have hair on my head, and I did have hair at the point when I started to choose to wear hair, it wasn't working for me anymore in my life. It was basically harming me in the respect that I couldn't go out. I couldn't feel good about myself. So I felt I had to do something. I was at that point, that breaking point where something had to be done. And although I originally thought I was going to bond, I wasn't ready to do that. So the next, plausible step would be to wear a wig, which is removable. So that's how I made that choice. And I think when I started to wear hair, I was really primed. I needed something. I was hating how I looked. I was so unhappy that when I had gone to Philia and tried on Natalia, I felt like, ecstatic. I felt like I was seeing myself again for the first time at that point, 13 years, all through the years, you kind of accept as it's falling out, it's getting thinner, it's changing your look. For me, my face was starting to look a little bit bigger as the hair laid thinner around my face, flatter. It changed the way I looked as a whole picture. It just changed. And you start to accept that and work with it, and you wear your hair up more, or I did, and in ponytails. And my life was impacted the whole way, but it got to a point where I was hitting bottom. I was completely bottoming out, and I had to do something. So enter wigs. I am losing my train of thought as somebody is backing their car, so I might have to pause this and restart. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. I don't know where I was, but I don't think that you have to wait until your hair is completely gone to start wearing hair if that's what you want to do. I still have hair on my head. After I started wearing hair, I made the decision to completely cut it off. Basically have as little of it as possible, because if it's shorter, I'm not seeing it fall out as much. And I just made it into a haircut. I have an amazing hair cutting girl that just she does a great job. The shorter the hair, FYI, the thicker it will look. So if your hair is long and it's looking thin, if you cut it here to your shoulder, it'll look even thicker. If you cut it even shorter, it'll look even thicker. So since mine is pretty much buzzed in the back, a little bit longer in the front, it has a pretty, it looks a lot thicker than it ever did when I had kept it at a longer length. So when's the right time to start wearing hair? That's going to be up to you. That's going to be whether you can deal with it emotionally, accept that you're putting something on, accept that's okay. I'm okay with that. Do I feel this on my head? Yes, I feel there's a wig on my head. And not all the time. Sometimes it's on there and I totally forget. But if I think about it, yeah, I feel it, you know. And I also feel my shoes if I think about that, and I'm gonna keep wearing those too. So it's just different for everybody. I mean, it's not a question I really can answer for you. Only for me, even though, like I said, I started wearing hair when I still had hair because it wasn't the hair that I could live with anymore. So that's what I did. I'm not sure that answered much or anything, but anyways, I am going to head to my appointment, and I wish everybody a happy Thursday. Bye.